Jackie Chan steps onto the edge of the building and looks down. It's a 3-story drop onto hard concrete. Not padded mats, not stunt cushions. Just open air and gravity. The crew is quiet. No one jokes. No one moves. They're all staring at Jackie, waiting for him to say the words they expect. Let's adjust it. Let's rehearse. Let's get the stunt double. Jackie doesn't say any of that. He rolls his shoulders once, exhales and says calmly, "We do it once." What happens next makes the entire set think they've just watched Jackie Chan die. Hong Kong, early 1980s. The Hong Kong film industry doesn't work like Hollywood. There are no massive insurance policies. No union stunt coordinators with authority to shut things down. If something goes wrong, it goes wrong in real time on real concrete with real consequences. Jackie Chan knows this better than anyone. By this point in his career, he's already known as the actor who refuses doubles, who insists on doing everything himself. He's not doing it to be reckless. He's doing it because he believes action has to feel real, and the audience can always tell when it isn't. But even his own crew is nervous today. They're filming a chase sequence. Jackie's character is being pursued, cornered at the edge of a building. The only escape is down. Not a controlled fall. Not a wire gag. A leap. The stunt team has measured it again and again. The angle is wrong. The landing zone is unforgiving. If Jackie under-rotates, he hits head first. If he over-rotates, he lands flat on his back. Either way, bones will break. Worst case, his neck doesn't survive it. The assistant director suggests splitting the shot. Cut away mid-fall. Edit the danger. Jackie shakes his head. "If you cut," he says, "the audience feels safe. I don't want them to feel safe. This isn't arrogance. It's philosophy." Jackie believes action cinema is a contract with the viewer. If the danger isn't real, the emotion won't be either. Pain, fear, momentum, those things can't be faked completely. They have to be earned. The crew suggests rehearsing the jump with wires. Jackie refuses. "If I practice," he says, "my body will expect safety." They suggest padding the landing area. Jackie refuses again. "If I know it's soft," he says, "I'll hesitate." The set goes quiet. This is the moment where everyone realizes something unsettling. Jackie isn't being brave. He's being exact. He understands fear, and he's choosing to face it raw without filters. They ask him how many takes he wants. He says, 1. Not because he's confident, because he knows his body won't survive a second attempt. Jackie climbs to his starting position. The edge of the building is narrow, dusty, uneven. He crouches, feeling the texture under his shoes, testing the grip. He visualizes the fall not as a stunt but as physics. Distance, rotation, impact. He knows exactly what will happen to his body the second he leaves the ledge. There's no room for improvisation once gravity takes over. Below him, the crew waits. Some can't watch. One grips the camera tighter than necessary, knuckles white. Someone whispers, "He's going to die." The director calls for quiet. The camera rolls. Jackie takes one step forward and jumps. For a fraction of a second, everything is perfect. Then something goes wrong. Jackie rotates slightly faster than expected. Not enough to abort, but enough to change everything. His foot misses the ideal landing point by inches. Inches that matter. He hits the ground hard. Not a clean impact. Not a controlled roll. A sickening thud echoes across the set. Jackie doesn't move. The crew freezes. No one cheers. No one shouts, "Cut." No one even breathes. The silence is immediate and absolute, the kind that only comes when people are afraid of what they already know. Someone drops a clipboard. The director rushes forward. Jackie Chan is lying on the concrete, eyes closed, body still. For a moment, everyone believes the same thing. He's dead. 10 seconds pass. Then 15. Someone kneels beside him, afraid to touch him, afraid of what they'll feel. "Jackie?" someone says, voice shaking. No response. The assistant director turns away, hands on his head. The cameraman lowers the camera, devastated. The stunt coordinator stares at the ground, replaying every calculation, every decision. Then Jackie groans. It's faint, barely audible, but it's real. Relief crashes over the set in a wave. Someone laughs and cries at the same time. Another person whispers, Thank God. Jackie's eyes open slightly. He tries to sit up. Everyone shouts for him to stop. He doesn't. He winces, breath sharp, pain exploding through his back, his shoulder, his ribs. Something is definitely broken. Possibly several things. But his first words aren't about pain. Did you get it? He asks. The director stares at him, stunned. Yes, he says. We got it. Jackie nods. Good, he says and closes his eyes again. At the hospital, doctors confirm what everyone feared. Broken bones. Severe bruising. Internal trauma. The kind of injuries that would end most actors' careers, or at least sideline them for years. The doctor tells Jackie he was lucky. Jackie smiles weakly. I know, he says. But luck isn't what saved him. Preparation did. Jackie never treated stunts as chaos. He treated them as controlled risk. He studied physics, anatomy, movement. He learned how bodies break so he could avoid breaking them completely. But even with all that knowledge, this jump was different. It pushed the boundary too far. And Jackie knows it. While recovering, he watches the footage. The shot is incredible. The fall feels terrifying, real, uncomfortable. The audience won't know why, but they'll feel it in their chest. Their bodies will tense because Jackie's body genuinely did. The director asks if they should cut the shot. Jackie shakes his head. No, he says. Leave it. But you almost died, the director says. Jackie looks at the screen. Yes, he says. That's why it works. Word spreads quickly through the industry. Not as gossip, as reverence. Crew members tell the story in hushed voices. How the set went silent. How they thought it was over. How Jackie stood up afterward, broken but smiling, asking about the shot. Producers start to worry. Insurance companies start to panic. Some people tell Jackie he has to stop. You're pushing too far, they say. You can't keep doing this. Jackie listens politely, then keeps working. But something changes. Not in his fearlessness, but in his awareness. He begins refining his philosophy. If the stunt risks death without adding something essential, it isn't worth it. Pain can be acceptable. Injury can be acceptable. But recklessness cannot. He becomes more precise, more thoughtful, more deliberate. That fall becomes a line in the sand, a reminder that commitment has limits. Years later, younger actors ask Jackie why he never used doubles, why he risked everything for a shot. Jackie always gives the same answer. Because the audience trusts me, he says. If I fake the danger, I break that trust. But he also adds something else. I don't recommend doing what I did, he says. I survived. Others might not. That's the part people often forget. Jackie Chan isn't celebrating pain. He's respecting reality. He understands that every stunt is a negotiation with gravity, time, and human fragility. And gravity always collects its debt eventually. The fall that almost killed him becomes legendary not because it was reckless, but because it revealed something rare. Total commitment. No safety net. No ego. Just responsibility to the moment. That single stunt changes how action movies are made. Audiences begin demanding authenticity. They can feel the difference now. Hollywood takes notice. Jackie's reputation grows beyond Hong Kong. Not just as a performer but as a standard. Action stars begin training differently. Studying movement, not just muscle. Learning timing, not just strength. Directors rethink how they frame danger. One jump, one landing, one moment when everyone thought it was over. And the industry shifts slightly in response. All because Jackie Chan jumped when everyone else would have stepped back. Years later, Jackie watches the scene again. He sees the hesitation in his body just before the jump. The split-second adjustment mid-air. The mistake. He remembers the silence afterward. The fear on the crew's faces. He doesn't romanticize it. I was stupid, he says once, laughing softly. But I learned. That's the real legacy of the stunt. Not bravado. Learning. Knowing where the edge is and respecting it. Jackie Chan didn't become a legend because he couldn't feel fear. He became a legend because he felt it fully, and chose responsibility anyway. The crew thought he was dead. What they really witnessed was the cost of authenticity, and the reason it still matters. While Jackie recovers, the crew doesn't move on easily. The set feels different without him. quieter, heavier. Everyone keeps replaying the moment in their head. The jump, the rotation, the sound his body made when it hit the ground. Some of the crew members admit later they couldn't sleep for days. Every time they closed their eyes, they saw him lying still on the concrete. The cameraman refuses to watch the footage at first. When he finally does, weeks later, his hands shake. He realizes something unsettling. The camera didn't just capture a stunt. It captured uncertainty, fear, a moment where nobody knew how the story would end, including Jackie himself. That's why it feels different. That's why it works. Most action scenes are controlled chaos. This one wasn't. This one was reality slipping through the frame. The studio executives are furious when they hear what happened. Meetings are called. Voices are raised. Words like liability and shutdown and irresponsible get thrown around. Someone suggests replacing Jackie for future projects. That idea doesn't last long, because audiences respond immediately. When the film is released, that scene becomes the one everyone talks about. Not because it's flashy, not because it's stylized, but because people feel something tighten in their chest when Jackie leaves the ledge. They don't know why, but their body knows the danger is real. The scene doesn't feel safe, and audiences lean forward because of it. Letters start coming in. Fans describe watching through their fingers. Parents say they yelled at the screen. Some viewers say they had to pause the movie and take a breath. Jackie reads these letters quietly. He doesn't smile. He nods, because this was always the point. As he heals, Jackie adjusts his training. Not to be less committed, but to be smarter. He spends more time studying slow-motion footage of falls, more time analyzing momentum, angles, recovery patterns. He talks with doctors, not just stunt performers. He learns exactly how close he came to permanent damage. He also starts talking more openly with his crew. About fear. About limits. About responsibility. Before this stunt, many younger crew members saw Jackie as untouchable. A machine. Someone immune to consequence. Afterward, they see him as human. And paradoxically, that makes him more impressive. Because he didn't hide what happened. He didn't pretend it was easy. He didn't turn it into bravado. He explained it. He made it clear that courage without understanding is just recklessness. That preparation doesn't remove danger. It only earns you the right to face it. That lesson spreads quietly. Stunt teams start planning differently. Directors start listening more carefully when Jackie speaks up. Not because he's loud, but because he's already paid the price once. The industry doesn't change overnight, but it shifts. Years later, Jackie is on a different set. A younger actor watches him rehearse a complex fall and asks, half joking, "You're not scared anymore, right?" Jackie stops, looks at him. "I'm scared every time," he says. The actor laughs, thinking it's a joke. Jackie doesn't. "If you're not scared," he continues, "you're not paying attention." That line sticks. Does fear, Jackie understands, is information. Tells you where the risk lives. Tells you what matters. Ignoring it doesn't make you brave. It makes you careless. That jump years ago taught him that more clearly than anything else ever could. When people later ask about the stunt, the one where everyone thought he was dead, Jackie never dramatizes it. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't embellish. He just says, "I made a mistake. I was lucky." And then he adds something most people don't expect. "I don't regret it." Not because he enjoyed the pain, but because it clarified his purpose. That fall defined the boundary between authenticity and ego, between commitment and self-destruction. It forced him to decide who he wanted to be, not just as a performer but as a leader. After that day, Jackie Chan isn't just someone who does stunts. He's someone who understands their cost. Near the end of his career, Jackie watches old footage with the new generation of filmmakers. Someone pauses the screen right before the jump and asks him what he was thinking in that moment.